Paper Mario, the paper-thin hero of the Mushroom Kingdom. You, the storybook legend of the Monster Village. These two heroes of the story will go through various journeys to defeat the big bads and save the world like true heroes. They would meet new friends, find many items, and fight tons and tons of enemies. Even when they were knocked down, they would always rise to the top to do what is right. Hey guys, it's me, Mega. If you haven't seen it already, you might be confused on why I'm making yet another Paper Mario vs. You video, but please hear me out. In my other video, I discussed who would win between the two, and in that video, I got some stuff wrong about the pure hearts that I need to address. I also felt like I didn't mention enough stuff for both. So in this video, I'll be discussing who would win with new research. Oh yeah, and if I receive any comments like this, then I won't be reading. Don't waste your time. For this matchup, I will be splitting this into 5 categories: stats, survivability, items, abilities, and Wincons. Before I start with Paper Mario's abilities, I want to clarify that I am using Paper Mario's feats and abilities specifically from his game, which include games after Paper Jam, in which I will later scale him to the main Mario. But in the main Paper Mario games, he has defeated a large number of enemies such as Bowser 3 times, the Shadow Queen, King Ali, etc. With these, it gets him from island to multi-continent level. Now, along with these enemies were Count Bleck and Dementio. Basically, Count Bleck had this powerful artifact called the Chaos Heart, which was stated to destroy all worlds within the Paper Mario and mainline continuity. Later on, Paper Mario fights Dementio, who stole the Chaos Heart to become Super Dementio and erase everything. Now, at first, Paper Mario wasn't really able to hurt Dementio due to having a powerful shield that made him invulnerable, but with the Pure Hearts, he was able to disable it and hurt him. Now, this is when it gets really tricky. The Pure Hearts gotta be one of the hardest things to figure out how they work, because they are so confusing. Now, Tippy, who was Mario's partner, said that the Pure Hearts empowered them, which could be the reason why Mario was able to hurt Dementio. But then it was also shown that the Pure Hearts were a direct counter to the Chaos Hearts, so it could just weaken Dementio to a point where he can hurt him. But I am leaning more towards the Pure Hearts empowering the Mario cast, because they said it did exactly that. Now, time for Cosmology BS. So, there are many worlds within Super Paper Mario. There we found 9, 10 if you want to include Flipside. Including the parallel world in Color Splash and Future Dream raises the count to 12. And finally, there's the Dream Depot, which creates universes from dreams and gives us countless universes from those dreams. Although it is still limited, as there weren't any confirmation for an infinite number of dreams, we also got the Dream Stone, in which Mario and Luigi were able to beat Bowser, who was empowered by that. Adding all this up, Mario gets the Multiversal. With this, the Void could destroy the Matter Splatter from Mario Galaxy, which is a 4th-dimensional construct. But then, on top of that, with the Void being able to destroy the entire cosmology, this includes Flipside, like I said earlier, which is stated to be between dimensions, so 5D. Now for speed. Mario has obviously done many ludicrous speed feats that we can see here. He's dodged sound waves, lasers, flashes, lights, lightning, etc. But some of his best speed feat comes from Mario Galaxy. In that game, he can run in tandem with cosmic energy clones and can keep up with green comets with launch stars. These comets can traverse through galaxies in seconds. This puts him at MFTL plus speeds. He can also do stuff like dodging the Millennium Star, which fell from the center of the universe to the Mushroom Kingdom, but this is far from Mario's true speed. Mario is capable of keeping up with Count Bleck and Dementio, in which the latter was able to move within a void of nothingness, and Mario can move within it as well. This gets Mario from infinite to immeasurable speeds. To simplify everything I said, Paper Mario will get to 5D and infinite to immeasurable speed. Now we have to cover Yu and see how she'll compare. In her game, Yu was able to defeat powerful enemies such as Snow Sea Ponies, who can create city-spanning snowstorms, and defeat the Demon King, who is said to turn everything to ash, putting him at roughly island level. This doesn't sound as impressive, but that's until we get into Dream World feats. In Cruel King, there's an enemy called the Dream-Eating Tapper, which is stated to eat dreams by starting at the end and cutting them off in the middle. Now, in-game, we enter this world called the Nightmare World, which is an entire reality created by Yu's mind. In this world, we see stars and the moon within it, signifying that celestial bodies exist here. Yu later receives the power of the Fountain, in which she has control over the Nightmare World and the Fountain World. This gets Yu from solar system to multi-solar system. Now, there is a possibility that these nightmares, or dreams, are infinite, as a character named Corvo stated that in their dream, he was on a road that never ended, hinting at infinite-sized dreams. Along with this, the main fountain world is stated to be endless, and Yu has the power to fountain within her sword. This raises her power from Universal Plus to potentially low multiversal. Now for speed, there are some feats that also make her pretty quick. Some include dodging sound waves, moving in tandem with shooting stars, moving in tandem with light, etc. She can also scale to Rocky, who can move in tandem with light balls, which put her at light speed. This is for her base. When we include Dream World feats, she can keep up and defeat dream-eating tappers. As said before, they could basically eat half of their dreams. Moving at that speed gets her to MFTO+. But if we include the Infinite Dream statement, eating half of infinity in 2 hours means she could get infinite speed. You might think that's it, right? 5D and infinite to immeasurable versus low multi and infinite. While yes, Paper Mario would just take all stats using Cruel King, there's one more thing I haven't mentioned yet. Disgaea scaling. So basically, Disgaea is another game series made by NIS that has some pretty busted characters within the verse. But how does Yu scale to this? Well, in the outdated video I made mentioning debate for the matchup, I had Yu get the scaling via upscaling the Liar Princess and one-shotting enemies that show up in her game. But recently, Yu was added to Classic Dungeon X3 and has fought similar enemies to Disgaea high tiers and other NIS characters. And with Disgaea being an everyone scale series, Yu just straight up gets the scale. Now, Laharo is an extremely powerful character who has defeated other equally powerful characters like Alexander, who can destroy the cosmos, which is an infinite multiverse, as stated multiple times. In Makai Wars, we have Alexander himself and Mao, in which the latter destroyed the multiverse in the bad ending of Disgaea 3, which also gets the multiversal plus levels of power. We can even raise this to 5D due to the statement from Baal, which basically confirms Overlords upscale the 4th dimension, so they sit comfortably at 5D. As for speed, in Makai Kingdom, Alexander destroyed the entire cosmos, and after that, he moved to an infinite void of nothingness. All universes were gone and nothing was left. Along with this, Laurel can also defeat Baal in Disgaea, who can move at incalculable speeds. This gives Yu infinite to immeasurable speeds, and as said before, we can scale her to these characters. To simplify all this, at their peaks, both of them can reach 5D and infinite to immeasurable speeds, which makes stats a tie. Now, let's move on to a way easier category to talk about, survivability, or how long they can keep themselves within the fight. Mario has a large assortment of items that can revive him and restore his health. Stuff like mushrooms and a plentiful amount of food items. God, those were hard to make already. But there's also Mario's paper physiology. It's quite broken, as this allows him to do many things, like transforming into objects, getting small, survive getting ripped to shreds, being stretched, and more. For Yu, she pretty much has the same type of thing, with her being able to carry a large assortment of fruits that can restore her health and stamina, elixirs and potions that can restore her health and stamina at the same time, and a gauntlet that heals whoever she attacks, so she could literally use the "why you hitting yourself" strat to her advantage. But how do these determine how long they could survive? Well, if we look closer, we can see advantages that both have over each other. For Yu, she has one thing over Mario, which is her ability to passively heal. With certain items like the Recovery Orb or Jewel, she can recover her health mid-fight, and with her sword literally called Yu's Sword, it recovers stamina. Add on her abilities from Classic Dungeon X3 that allow her to gain the Lucky effect, which passively heals, allowing her to fight while also staying in shape and not stopping to heal. With both having ways of healing and having extra lives, I surmise that this category is yet another tie, as Yu can constantly get passive healing while fighting, but Mario's just harder to kill overall due to his physiology. Now it's time for items. Getting this out the way right now, in terms of variety, Paper Mario just sweeps as he has more things than Yu does. Star Spirits with their ability to nullify wish magic, Crystal Stars with one of them being able to cut reality, stickers that just straight up summon real world items to do meaningful damage, his summoning cards, pain absorption, dimensional flipping, time stopping, badges, and the list goes on. But his most prized possession are the Pure Hearts. They can restore space-time areas like voids and can nullify shields like the Chaos Heart. And most importantly, they can empower Mario to multiversal levels of power. Although there is one major flaw of most of his arsenal, and it's that they rely on chance, so it's not guaranteed to work. Looking into Yu's side, she has the Omni Amulet, which prevents any stats effects from affecting her, including stuff like power nullification. and as items to inflict status effects on her opponent. She can land a crit on every hit with the Tiger Glasses, revive using revive charms, passively heal with the recovery jewel, and so on. She has an item called the Glass Statue, which basically turns all damage onto her into 1 damage. And finally, for her most powerful item, she has Cursed Web, which can power nullify opponents indefinitely. While Yu's arsenal is guaranteed to work in comparison to Mario's chance-based arsenal, the sheer variety of options he has with him will have Paper Mario take items. Next are abilities, which are a bit more complicated to figure out than items. Starting with Mario, who can manipulate paint, which is the essence of people in Paper Mario, flip between dimensions, parry attacks to nullify damage and to counter attacks, harm intangible beings, and summon a plethora of enemies such as Goombas, Shy Guys, Koopalings, Kamek, and more. Oh, and he's also aware of the fourth wall. Moving on to Yu, she can light her sword on fire, use quick attack using Gale Slash, have her damage via guarding, read minds to learn their capabilities and weaknesses, ignore durability with critical hits as she can insta-kill enemies with 999 defense after landing a crit, attack intangible beings, traverse the pages of the book she's in to time travel through storybooks, and with the Fountain Spirit, not only can Yu utilize fountains to heal and regain energy, she can travel to the Fountain World where she can achieve immortality, BFR enemies into a Dark Fountain trial, and if she somehow completes the trial mid-fight, she can get a wish granted. Although it is important to mention that it's unlikely to do a trial mid-fight. Also, she's like her paper opponent, in which she's aware of the fourth wall. When we compare their abilities, while paint manipulation and being able to summon a bunch of people are very good, when the opponent can just time travel whenever they want, it doesn't really mean anything. And Yu's mind reading will let her be aware of his abilities and give her a chance to counterattack. Yu would take abilities, due to her abilities being more useful than Mario's on average. Last but not least, we have Wincons. Who would be more likely to land the killing blow on the other first? With equal stats in their survivability, neither of them would be able to quickly end the fight by just beating each other to death, even if they could eventually do that. So we'll have to look at Paper Mario's variety of items and abilities and compare them to Yu's overpowered abilities and specific items to see which of them would be more useful. However, this is when things start to lean towards Yu's favor. You know how I mentioned that Cursed Web can nullify abilities? Mario has no counter to this, which makes all his abilities useless. And even if he could somehow get his abilities back, Yu can pretty much spam this item. And the Omni Amulet prevents her from getting nullified as well. Well, no worries, Mario has so many items and a bunch of them should be able to kill. While true, the chance-based aspect of said items I mentioned earlier really shoots Mario in the foot. The Emerald Star's ability to immobilize foes relies on chance. The Garnet Star's ability to instantly kill someone relies on chance. Toad battle cards that turn enemies into mushrooms relies on chance. The Stopwatch abilities to stop time relies on chance. A battle card's ability to make the opponent drop items only works on a random item. I think you get the idea by now. However, with the massive variety of options Mario has, Yu has to race against the clock and end the fight before he inevitably gets lucky with an item that she can't resist. Notice how I said has to. Yu recently got an ability that Mario doesn't have a counter to, for time travel. Now, even if Mario gets lucky whenever he uses items, you can use her time travel to essentially everything he tries to do, with her mind reading making it even more likely option. While yes, Mario has a similar option with Pippitron when it comes to studying enemies, Yu's is just a better version of what she can do. In contrast, Yu has two very simple Wincons that she could use. If she's pushed to use it, she could just use the Oblivion Remedy to get rid of Mario's memories. And with him being made of paper, she could just chuck it at him and have his paper physiology work against him. If you don't think she could do that, she could just incapacitate him via BFRing him into a Dark Fountain trial. Even if you argue that neither Wincon works, with her time travel, Cursed Web, mind reading, passive healing, and durability negation, you could eventually get around all of Paper Mario's extra lives, especially since she's trained on how to be a hero for a very long time and thus be more skilled than him, even if he has way more experience. Paper Mario's plethora of items, experience, and unpredictability had the great hero on her toes, but Yu's abilities, counters, and easier Wincons will allow her to emerge victorious in this battle of storybook heroes. Seems like the paper-thin hero got shredded. The winner is Yu. I also want to give a shout out to SacredStars for their blog on this matchup, which helped me research this matchup, and for creating a very amazing MU. Also, I want to thank my friend Chemical Music for helping me write this script and also like helping me with this entire debate in general. And thank you for being a very nice friend too. And also, one more thank you to all of you for watching this video. See y'all next time. Bye. Wait, I just realized this fight is literally just Featsman versus Loreman.